Walk the Edge by Mylan Foundry.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Walk the Edge, a Mylan Foundry initiative. Over a series of conversations, I, Kiran, your host, will take you on a journey that spans AI, edge intelligence, and the future of technology. In this journey, I'll be speaking with investors, innovators, business leaders, technology leaders to decipher where technology is taking us next. With a special focus on Edge AI, let's embark on this journey together. Let's begin. With me today is Anusha Ram Mohan, co-founder and CTPO of Mylan Foundry. Anusha, thank you for walking with us, and it's so great to have you with us.
Thank you so much, Kiran. It's lovely to be here. It's a bright and sunny day.
Yeah. So let's dive right in. Mylan's tagline is Agentic AI at the Edge. So could you help our viewers understand what is normal AI, generative AI, and agentic AI? But maybe we could start with understanding first what is edge.
Yeah, I know it can be a lot to unpack, especially the terminology. So let's start with what is the edge. Very simply put, edge is where data either gets generated or consumed. To help you relate to it a little bit better, think of it as a place where information gets provided to AI or information that is provided by the AI gets consumed. So for example, your cell phone, where you ask questions and get answers from tools like ChatGPT and Gemini, or in your car, where you have autonomous driving systems, or at the factory floor, where there is predictive maintenance based on AI. So that's edge. Agentic AI is a specific type of AI which carries out actions instead of just providing you with information. For example, in an autonomous driving system, the action could be that automatically brakes are applied or the steering wheel is turned. On your cell phone, for example, you could automatically set up intelligence to send an email. That's an action. Or on the factory floor, if a critical defect is detected, the factory line stops. That's an action. So AI, which has an action component to it, which is carried out by what we call agents, is agentic AI. So now coming to generative AI. In AI, there is generally two different types, discriminative and generative. Let me try and explain this with an example. So let's say you're teaching a child something. One way you could teach the child is actually by giving lots of examples of what you want them to learn. For example, if you're trying to teach them colors, you show them, say, examples of red and examples of blue, and the child then learns how to discriminate between red and blue. On the other hand, if you're trying to teach the child language, that's not how you would teach them. You would actually expose them to different combinations of letters, words, sentences, and so on, because there's millions and millions of possibilities. You can't possibly teach them all of it. So they don't learn specific instances, they actually learn general idea of how language structures. For example, the grammar, how words relate to each other, and more importantly, how words relate to the outside world. That's exactly how a generative AI and large language model, which is an example, would work. You expose them to large amounts of data about how people talk, how people say things, how concepts are explained, and so on. And then they learn all of the inherent information within that. And then they're able to generate output based on that.
So it's very interesting to know the difference between discriminative, generative, and agentic AI. Also, I didn't know that it's so different and difficult to make children understand these different concepts. Going back to agentic AI, what I could understand and get is agentic AI is the AI which do things instead of just analyzing and informing. Now, how Mylan Foundry is architecting these intelligent agents? Also, how do you make sure that these agents are reliable and they are doing the exact actions which they are meant to?
Great question. Let's start with how we architect agentic AI. So there's three components to any agentic AI system. The first is what we call, very uninterestingly, input. But what it really means is how the agentic system senses the environment that it is in. So the input can come in terms of text, voice, video, sensor data. It can even be an Excel spreadsheet that you have data in that it's looking at. The second part is the intelligence, which is how the agentic system understands the environment and the input. And the intelligence also translates that into potential actions. The third part is the actual agent or agentic workflow, which carries out those actions. So all of these three components have to work in tandem to bring the purpose of an agentic AI to reality. Now, here is where things get a little bit quirky, because generative AI, by their very definition, and generative AI form the core of most intelligent systems within agentic workflows, they actually are not deterministic. So you can ask them the same question and they might give you slightly different responses every time. So how do you get such a non-deterministic system to work in a deterministic fashion?
Right.
Oh, that's a... So the way we do it is that you force the intelligent part of it to choose only certain actions, and you inform it a priori, what actions are feasible and not feasible. So essentially, it's using its intelligence, but it's taking decisions in some sense. AI systems, I would say, were already there in some sense, but now we've sort of bridged that last gap where we actually make them take the actions, not just suggest actions that a human being could take. So that's how agentic AI is constructed.
That's so interesting and sounds so, impossible things to be, done. And we, Anusha, keep hearing about huge power requirements for AI, large server farms with electricity requirements that are massive.
Yeah.
We also hear about heat generated because of all these, and the concept of undersea server farms to keep the temperature regulated.
Yeah.
And you are saying that you will run your complex AI models like LLMs, large language models, on a few watts of power. That sounds so cool, but very contradictory. So how will it happen?
Okay, so the way I see it, it's a classic case of I want to have my cake and eat it too. So I want to have all the intelligence in the world, but I have to put it in a constrained environment. I look at the problem a little bit differently. I think that forcing intelligence on the edge forces us as developers and solution providers to really think about what is the minimum necessary intelligent unit that can perform a certain action or a function. And that's actually where our journey also starts. So there are three things we do to get AI systems running on constrained environments where power is limited, memory is limited, and compute is limited, and typically cost also plays a factor. So we start with looking at what is the smallest model that can achieve the purpose. Now, if you're lucky, we find these models already available, or open source models or other models that we have access to, and then that forms our starting point.
Yeah.
But sometimes even the smallest model does not fit within the constraints.
Okay.
So then we have to start architecting new models which are smaller and can fit within those constraints but still achieve that purpose. So we start with the architecture. The second part is, now we've got something on paper, how do we get that running on actual hardware? And that gets even more tricky, because now you have to translate complex mathematical operations into a form that is suitable for execution on hardware. We do a lot of things there. We do operations like quantization, pruning, parameter reduction, many such techniques which allow us to get those models running on the actual hardware. The third part, which is actually looking at this at the system level, which is particularly relevant for agentic AI, is how do you get the workflow optimized, because it's got multiple components. And that's where we do a lot more optimization, and we do system level optimization where we look at, can we run things in parallel? Can we distribute the operations on different compute units? Can we compress some of the operations? Can we stream data instead of waiting for all the data to come in? So we do a lot of these sort of small things, but all add up to increasing the efficiency. So that's how we can get models running on your cell phone or within your car where you have a constrained environment.
So if I could summarize, it's not about only having faster codes, but making every single watt count.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk impact, Anusha. Where are we seeing this agentic edge AI landing us today? and what is the big vision for the next few years?
You know, if I think about it really, you know, you talked earlier about how agents are the ones who perform the actions. If we really want to be where the action is, we have to be at the edge. The edge is where all the information is. It's where actions get executed. So it seems like a natural place where agentic AI would find the most use and would find the most application. And I think that's what we're going to see in the next few years, is that we're going to see more and more potential for agentic AI opening up on the edge applications. And it's not just about being able to run things on the edge. Now, if we get down to where the action is, the agents themselves have far more context available to them than some isolated model in the cloud. It can access information right there. It can get feedback from the actions it's carrying out. There's a lot of complexity to be unlocked at the edge. And I'm really excited that Mylan Foundry is at the forefront of this innovation. I'm very excited for where this will take us.
That's truly incredible work, Anusha. Thank you for demystifying the engineering and walking us through the future of autonomous on-device intelligence. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
What Mylan Foundry is doing proves that you don't need massive clouds to achieve high-level intelligence. You need smart engineering, efficient architecture, and the commitment to put the brain right where action is. That's the power of Agentic Edge AI. You have been watching Walk the Edge with me, Kiran. See you next time as we continue stepping into the future, one edge at a time.
Walk the Edge by Mylan Foundry.